Hey man, hey man, this is my first video. I want to start off in our Bible study in Mark chapter 4, verse 1 through 20. I'm going to read it real quick. Follow along and listen carefully. And he began again to teach by the seaside. And there was gathered unto him a great multitude, so that he entered into a ship and sat in the sea, and the whole multitude was by the sea on the land. So we see in verse 1, he had a lot of followers, you know. It was so many people that he had to get in the boat. It was just too many people, you know. So let's go on verse 2. And he taught them many things by parables. Jesus, who we talking about, let's reiterate that. And say unto them in his doctrine, which means teaching. You know, and for those who don't know and who are coming of understanding, a parable is like a story. You break something down in the story so what people can understand it better. Okay, it's a hearken, verse 3. I mean, listen. Behold, there went out a sower to sow. You know, and it came to pass as he sowed, some fell by the wayside. Now they'll imagine, like, you know, somebody that's planting seed, you know, a farmer or something. You go out there and plant the seeds and stuff, sow the seeds. You go out there and throw it in the grass. Some fell by the wayside. You know, as you can imagine, you had like a little sack, you know, and full of seed, and some of them do fall because you got so many. And the fowls of the air came and devoured it up. Okay, and some fell on the stony ground, and where it had not much earth, and immediately it sprang up, because it had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, it was scorched. And because it had no root, it withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and it yielded no fruit. And other fell on good ground, and did yield fruit that sprang up and increased, and brought forth some 30, some 60, and some 100. And he said unto them, he that hath ears to hear, let him hear. That's the key word. Listen. Listen, listen, listen. Listen with your spiritual ears. Listen. Not your fleshly ears. Listen. And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked of him the parable. So his 12 disciples is supposed to be true, faithful servants, which we know one of them, you know, Judas, you know, he tried to be a snake, but they asked him like, hey man, we hear you, but explain to us what it means. And he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God. Now, this is Jesus now. At this particular time, you know, I don't know what time it was, you know, way back when, but Jesus was explaining to them that based off him being there and being sent to preach to Israel first, just so let people know that. A lot of people don't know or understand that, you know, when God first came, he came to Israel because he had already, everything that he done while he was on earth, he did it mainly for Israel because he made a promise to them. Now, he did things for other people that was a Gentile, you know, or some people were Samaritan. They was a half Jew, half Gentile, but still kind of Gentile, you know, you gotta be pure blood. But God, basically what I'm saying, God made promises in the past and he upheld his promises. And one reason was that because it all started from Abraham, a faithful man, a faithful servant, you know. And not just that, Abraham was a part of God's pure bloodline, which is truly directly from Adam being born, going all the way down to Abraham. And even further, like if we could trace like blood roots and have like ancestry or something, you'll be like, man, it's a pure and direct line from Adam all the way to Christ being born. It's a pure bloodline. So anyway, he was saying just by him being there, the mystery is already given to you, because you got to remember, God can give understanding to who he wished to give understanding to. You know, sometimes you be like, man, you just catch things. Sometimes like you read it one time, but you ain't get it that time. But then you go back another time and it hit you, because he gave you understanding at that time, because it must be, okay, you need to understand this now. You need it. At the time, maybe your mind was clouded and you wouldn't listen, you know, like you wasn't ready for it. And so anyway, it say, verse 12, that seeing that they may see, seeing that they may see. So they seeing, right? So they can see and not perceive. Like you can see, but not even understand, like really visually understand or discern. In hearing, they may hear and not understand it. We know a lot of people can hear what you're saying, but they don't get you. You know, they'll shake their head. Oh yeah, I think I got you. I got you. You heard me, but you didn't understand me. Understanding is the best thing in the world. And it say, lest at any time they should be converted, and their sins should be forgiven them. You know, it said, lest anytime you be converted, basically, lest anytime you turn from your sinful ways and God reveal it to you. And in verse 13, and he said unto them, no, which means in this particular verse is translated as understand. Understand ye not this parable. Now he asking them a question. They got a question mark at the end. Do you not understand this parable? And how then will you know all parables? You know, if you don't understand this, then the rest of them is none and void. So this is what you got to get. The base is the gist of everything. Verse 14, the sower soweth the word. So he broke it down just straightforward. The sower are the words, the person that's delivering word, God's word. Is soweth the word. Verse 15, these are they by the wayside. Now imagine now it's groups of people. Now he on a boat and it's a big crowd. So you can imagine him talking to the 12, pointing groups of people out. Now he talking to the 12 with him on the boat. But the groups of people, they out there, you know, on land. You know, and so he said, and these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and take away the word that was sown in their hearts. We know this based off of, I give you an example. You know how sometimes you can speak life into somebody, like you can tell them something good that's good for them to know or understand. Like you might tell them, hey man, don't do this particular thing, you know, because you do that, it might put you in debt or something. You know, that's how you get somebody advice. Oh, really? Okay. Go around, he ended up doing it. And then he was like, man, dang, man, I'm in debt. I like, what happened? Man, I did this. And then you tell him, why you ain't, I told you don't do that. You know? So I give you an example, like, because a lot of times we all know that when you speak in life or speaking something positive to somebody, most of the time it go in one ear and go out the other. Most people just don't want to hear God's word. Even if it's something good, like to help them, they still don't want to hear it. All right? So it say, and these are, okay. Let me catch back where I'm at. Verse 16, and these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground. So imagine he pointed at another group of people in the group or congregation. They are sown on stony ground, who, when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness, and have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time afterward. When affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. I give you an example. For a lot of people that, in other words, become a part of God's kingdom. I don't like to use the word saved, because you ain't saved until you die, until you get into heaven. God said, he that endureth to the end. To the end. A lot of people don't put emphasis on end. When is the end? It's not like, when my career end. No, he didn't say that. The end, that means death. When you get to the end of your journey, then you will be saved, because you made it in by that time. Hopefully your works speak for you, And so anyway, we know a lot of people that get in, they receive the word, they okay. Well, God say we're gonna be blessed, all this stuff, they hear that. But a lot of people don't understand. A lot of time when God speaks about blessings and more life abundantly, he's speaking about his kingdom and his life and his system. You're going to have life more abundantly, because guess what? You live eternal. Not to mention, not saying that while you're here on earth, he wants you to be miserable. No. He going to bless you. But thing about it is, you're going to go through challenges. God ain't promised nobody, hey, man, if you get on my side, man, you ain't going to be tried or nothing. Everybody be tried. If Jesus would try, what make you think you any better? I'm no better. You know better. Ain't nobody you know no better. Your mom, your dad ain't no better. The pastor ain't better. Nobody better. So anyway, he said, like I say, when persecution come, with persecution will come to everyone who serve Christ, they give up. And that's the sad thing about it. I know a lot of people, man, that started off trying to do right, trying to get their life together, trying to marry. A lot of people that's married, they get married, get what, a year later, 2 years later, they gone. Because get what, first off, it wasn't built off God. Second thing, they tried his word, but when it really came down to it, when they had it go through challenges and trial tribulation, they couldn't handle it. The word never did sink in. And it say, in these, verse 18, and these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, the cares that mean burdens, the burdens of this world, the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches. So that means like the cares of this world, like I give example, like let's say you wanna be a millionaire, right? And ain't nothing wrong with that at all. But let's say you want to own some particular business, like a business in something that you really like. And like you want to be like Fortune 500 big, you know what I'm talking about? And you might pray and ask God for that. Not saying that God can't bless and give you that, but let's say it wasn't fit for you to get that high. You might own like a small business and be real good at it, or many small businesses, but you might not be able to get to that point. And some people live their whole life, man, chasing dreams, looking at other people, like, dang, he got that, I got, some people, they let money, which God said it. Money is the root of all evil, man. I know so many people that chase dollars, and get what? You talk to them, man, they got no life. They dead. They dead. It seems like everything they do, man, is miserable. And they know they be miserable, but they try to act like they don't. And so anyway, and it say, verse 20, and these are they which are sown on good ground, such as hear the word and receive it, and bring forth fruit, some 30-fold, and some 60, and some 100. So those people are, you can say yourself, the ones that are truly living for God and understand who God really is personally with their own personal relationship, or this message could be being heard from someone that don't know God, don't understand God, don't know what. What I can say is that just talk to him. Talk to him. Once you get a chance to know God for yourself, and God show you himself, because he will, you might ask him something. Let's say you ask him, God, reveal yourself to me. And he'll show you. He'll show himself to you. Not physically, but he'll show you that he's there. Because it might be something you prayed about or something that you thought about, like me. A lot of times, man, I could think something. Like, I could think of a question or think of something that I need. In some kind of way, I don't know how. Which way I know is God. But I end up getting it. Soon as I thought about it, somebody come through the door. Hey, I got you a new phone. This ever happened. I thought about a new phone. Hey, I brought you a new phone. Huh? Hey, I need such amount of money to get to where I need to go. Hey, here go you a couple of dollars. You run the store for me. It's small things, but it's big to me. I know for a fact sometimes people might have been broke down the road. Was thinking like, man, damn, man, I ain't got the money for this, that, and the third, for a new tile. Somebody, the tie dude might have liked your, your spirit, like that. He like, what, don't even worry about it. I got you. And you be like, man, but God, that's all you can say. So what I'm saying is, to those, I'm going to go back and finish, those that sow good seed, no matter how hard this world system, which is the enemy world system right now, we all know this, I know this, and those that are spiritual know this, because if this world system and how it's going as far as the media and how you hear about killings, rapes, and all this, and I ain't got nothing against, this ain't nothing personal. I got nothing against gays at all. I say this right here, I love all the same. But it's the sin that we don't like, that I don't like, and all this going on, and you got so much. And like I say, if you look forward to that, if this personal life, you living in poverty, like to some of you all that may live in poverty, some of you all might, be well off, able to help people. God bless you. God, God appreciate people like, I appreciate people like that, and God bless you for that. But if you think what we going through right now this is it, then you really have no hope. It's really no hope. One reason why I say that, because it's just, to me personally, I mean, I'm just saying, this life is just not what you expect, especially from coming from you a kid. The way people told lies to you, Santa Claus, all this, Easter, all that. A lot of stuff that you thought, well, I ain't gonna say you thought, but you knew it sounded funny, but you was like, well, my parents or my grandma, they tell me this, so it must be true. And once you come to the truth, one thing I can advise you is come up out of this world system. Let God renew your mind. Take your time. Don't focus on nobody else. Focus on yourself first. Then help somebody if you can along your way up. If you can't, just be like, hey, look, man, I just ain't got it, or I can't sacrifice this, that. God understands you. He know what you can do, what you can't do. And don't worry about what you can't do. And to those that don't believe, I'm asking you, if not trusting in God, Yahweh, is not the way, then what if I'm right? What if, you know, God is real and all the sins that you do or ever did are accountable, are accounted for? What's the worst thing that can happen? Like, how would that impact you? You know, like if you done good. But if I'm wrong and you done bad and all, you know, you just say like, man, bump God, all this, you know, and he come out to be real, what's the worst thing that happen on that end? It's just something to think about.